Yo, what is going on, everybody? My name is Andrew, aka the Black Dragon. This is Black Dragon Studios, and we're back with another episode of Raid Shadow Legends. Big news on the raid front today. I mean, this is like huge news. This is probably the best news anybody could have ever asked for. I'm going to share it with you guys right now. If you guys go back to my last video, this video is actually not doing too bad, by the way. Plarium has gone too far. Raid Shadow Legends with the new update, they're done. I literally did not expect them to actually be done. Like, they're literally done. Plarium sold Raid Shadow Legends. Yes, like literally today, Plarium decided to up and sell Raid Shadow Legends. It's gone. It's not gone, but like another company now owns it. So this answers a lot of questions that I've had about the game. We're going to talk about this in today's video and just kind of go over some of the things. This is not cap, by the way. This is true. This did happen. Here it is right here. Plarium acquires MTG. Not Magic the Gathering. I don't know what MTG is. Modern Times Group acquires Plarium, developer of global #1 raid RPG. So it's the #1 RPG on the Play Store and the iPhone App Store right now, worldwide. Not surprising. We're going to go over the good and the bad of Plarium and some of the hopes, I guess you could say, about the new company and them taking over, that we can expect to see some changes, some good changes, I'm assuming. I don't know what this company's like. I've never played one of their other games before, but apparently they do own some other titles in the Play Store. Ones that I've never heard of before, so yeah. Modern Times Group did buy up Raid Shadow Legends for the hefty price of $620 million US, which is crazy. Like, that's an absolutely insane amount. And that's really all you need to know about that. Like, I'm not going to sit here and read over this whole article. If you want to read about it, just search up Plarium sold raid on Google, and it'll literally be the first thing that pops up. But yeah, so Plarium is actually done. Plarium is literally done. Wow, unbelievable. So here we are. I mean, it's not a shock. I felt like they might have been doing something like this because you could just tell that the updates were just not anything even closely related to what the players have been asking for the last 2+ years since I came back onto the game. It's just been crazy. Like, the amount of BS that we've had to deal with, and Plarium is just looking to sell the company, and they never did announce this. Like, it may have been announced as sort of like a joke, or sort of like, you know, we're considering possibly, but they never actually said we are actively looking to sell this company. We no longer want to run this game. And they could have just said that instead of leading us on and stringing us along. But of course, Plarium, being the greedy, undercutting company that they are, you know, they're not going to give us anything. They were just upping the prices, you know, jacking the prices as high as they possibly could go, and making updates to the game that the players were just left feeling like, what the hell is this? What the hell are these people even doing right now? Why would they even do this? So yeah, Live Arena, Hydra is fucked right now. Like, Hydra is just basically, my damage has been cut by like 75% in Hydra. You know, Live Arena is fucked. The prices of all the packs are fucked. Like, I haven't wanted to spend a dime on this game in God knows how long, man. And I could have. There's many times I could have bought a pack in this game and just said, no, like, I'm not spending $35 on 2 Sacred Shards. I'm just not doing it. So yeah, here we are. We've got MTG coming in, and the changes that and I'm sure a lot of people would agree with me when I say this, is obviously those 3 things that I just mentioned. Prices of packs, the price of the game in general is just way too high. Even the time spent on the game, I'm hoping that they actually bring some decent quality of life updates to the game And as well, maybe update some of the prices of these packs, because yes, they did just buy the company for 620 million, but they'll make that does, it does seem like a hefty price, but dude, they'll probably make that back within 2 to 3 years. Kid you not, like, they will make that back. So the game is still going to be active. There's been no tell of any major changes coming to the game, like the game's name changing, or the game becoming a completely different game, or the game being just like, because why would they buy the game if they didn't want to keep the game going? You feel me when I say this? So don't worry, your account is safe. Nothing's going to happen to your account. I can guarantee you that. If anything, the game only gets better from here in the short term, but in the long term, we'll see how the progression goes. Where as Plarium, when they first picked up the game, they used to be really good with their prices. They weren't like amazing, don't get me wrong. Nobody was ever thrilled about Plarium in the first place, but at least they did an okay job. If we compare the beginning of Plarium's existence in Raid to the end game existence of Plarium and Raid, where everybody just wanted to find these people IRL and get a hold of their neck, like, that's literally how I'm sure 90% of the player base feels right now. And the ones that don't, literally don't have a brain. Because if you had a brain, you would be pissed off at the things and the changes that Plarium has made to the game in at least the last 365 days. So glad Plarium's out and we can get back to our gaming again. I'm sure you'll see some good sales in the shop. And let's talk about, because Plarium wasn't all bad, let's talk about some of the good that Plarium brought to the table in their short time here. When I first started Raid, dude, there was maybe 200 to 300 champions in the game. I kid you not, bro. Plarium brought like 500 new champions into the game, and some people like that, some people don't. I like it, but I don't like the fact that they then increase the prices of shards, henceforth making it even more difficult to obtain the champions that are actually necessary for certain areas of the game. Like, let's take, for example, Live Arena, okay? That is one of the reasons that I came back to Raid in the first place, because I found out, wow, they've got a Live Arena now. This is what I wanted this whole time. We can actually PvP with one another instead of always having to face the AI and the bots. And this is great, but what I didn't realize is that I had left the game and they added mythical champions to the game as well. So I came back to the game and I started learning about all these mythical champions and how vastly more powerful these mythical champions are in comparison to even the legendary champions, making the epics and rares completely useless in Live Arena. So at the higher levels of Live Arena and even Platinum Arena, making it nigh impossible to progress in the game. I'm hoping that they either lower the price of shards or give us a little bit more avenues to acquire these shards in free-to-play, so that both the whales are satisfied and their company is satisfied and the free-to-play players are satisfied. Because what was happening when Plarium was in charge was the whales were not satisfied, but they still held the trump card over the free-to-play players toward the company, obviously, because they're the ones that kept the company afloat. But the millions and millions of free-to-play players, actually, the company didn't realize this, but they were the ones keeping people downloading the game in the Play Store and keeping it the #1 ranked RPG game in the Play Store for a reason, because all of those millions of downloads kept that game popping up for new players that may otherwise not have known about Raid. So I think we deserve a little bit of credit as well. I'm not a completely free-to-play player, but I make videos on YouTube about Raid. I may have turned a few people onto Raid before just with the videos alone. So I'm not saying I want any compensation for that. I'm just saying that as a mostly free-to-play player, I can attest that the free-to-play players in this game are creating a lot of free advertising for the game of Raid, and they do deserve, the player base as a whole deserves a lot more than a slap in the face. Need I say more? Need I say more? So it's like the old saying goes, right? Don't bite the hand that feeds you. And the free-to-play players in this game are just as important, if not more important, than the big-time whales who are spending millions of dollars on the game. Because let's face it, if there was 100 whales in the game spending millions and millions of dollars to compete with each other, but there was no new downloads, no new money coming in, and then those whales all decided to die off because they get sick and tired of fighting and spending millions and millions on the game. Remember, this game didn't cost millions and millions and millions. This game cost hundreds and hundreds of millions to purchase. So ultimately speaking, those whales, a total of say 4 or 5 whales, or even 100 whales spending $100 million on the game is just a fraction of what this game is actually worth. In the end, it's not enough to sustain. What's needed to sustain is new customers and new business. And even the new customers were being treated like shit. In the end, nobody could stand Plarium. So, yeah, let's turn this new leaf here. Let's give it a couple of weeks, maybe even a month or two, just for things to kind of settle down on the business front for Raid. And I guarantee you, man, by Christmas time, you're probably going to see some of the best deals, at least in the store, that Raid has seen in the last 3-4 years come to the forefront. And I could say within the next 6 months to a year, they will probably have that. I think it was honest. I'm not a conspiracy theorist, generally speaking, but I think it might have been a purposeful yak by Plarium at the players. Like, as we're going out, we're going to fuck them in Live Arena and we're going to fuck with them in Hydra. These are like the two biggest, most hugest changes that the endgame players were looking forward to in this game. And they really fucked the dog in the ass on both of those fronts. So hopefully MTG can come in here and kind of, resolve those issues quickly so that the players that are already here remain, and we can continue to bring those new players in and get new players playing the game. So that's really all I got for you guys today. Just that news, Plarium is gone, MTG is in, and I'm sure 99.99% of the player base is going to be extremely satisfied to hear this news. I was actually shocked that it happened so soon. There's been talk by the players, the community, for quite some time now. We were uncertain about the future of Plarium and if they even cared about the game anymore, or if they were just, going to literally do like a sunfall of the game, basically, which, would mean that the game is no longer in existence. But at least they did us a solid. This is honestly the best thing Plarium has ever done for the players, is sell the game to someone else and let somebody else take the reins of the game. So anyways, guys, with that, I'm going to get out of here for now, and I'm going to wait for these changes, and I'm going to enjoy the game that Plarium has left for us. It's not all bad. The game is relatively decent. Otherwise, why would we play it in the first place? But I'm also hoping that they can add in some more ways to get silver, because man, oh man, is that not ever a reflection of how greedy Plarium was in the first place. The amount of silver that is so limited in this game, and then the slap in the face for them to try and sell you a silver pack with like 2 or 3 million silver in it for $20 was absolutely atrocious. Absolutely atrocious, dude. Anyways, with that, I'm getting out of here for today. Peace out.